Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Welcome everybody to our business series. We are focusing on marketing today, but before we get started, just a couple quick announcements. We are going to have in-person new networking luncheon next month, February 18th at the Veterans Memorial. The seating will be limited. We want to make sure we keep within numbers. So make sure as soon as you see the email go out to RSVP that you get your spot. But we're excited to be able to start working towards, being in person again and doing some networking. So make sure you guys look for that. Another announcement, if you guys haven't seen the newsletter from the chamber, make sure that you guys have your active email. And if you still aren't receiving them, reach out to Whitney or Heather at the chamber so that we can figure out why you're not receiving that. But just some quick notes on that. We are having a photo contest again this year for the cover of the Chamber magazine. And so you can submit those. They're looking for them to be portrait orientation. It needs to be a big enough resolution to fit on an 8.5 by 11. So you want to make sure it's a 300 DPI for printing with that. But you need to have yours submitted by January 31st. So it'll be awesome. It goes out to thousands of people. You'll get credit, all that fun stuff for that. So make sure that you guys look for that. And I'm trying to see if there was anything else. I think those are the two big ones. Heather, am I missing anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, perfect. All right, I am gonna go ahead and remember. Oh, there it is. I'm like trying to remember where the screen is. So let me get that presentation mode up. Can everybody see that okay? Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Let me get that from the beginning though. There we go. Look how fancy that is. All right. So today what we wanted to discuss, and I am hoping, please jump in with conversation. If like Nicole or Dawn, if you guys can help me watch chat, if there's some questions that pop up, that would help me tremendously. But we're going to talk about 5 tips to improve engagement on your social media. So what is social media engagement and why is it important? Well, first of all, social media engagement is the measurement of comments, likes, and shares. Sounds pretty simple, right? But engagement is measured through metrics, including shares, comments, audience growth, click-throughs, mentions, and hashtags. So all those little fancy things you see going on in your comment section, or when you get notification that so-and-so liked or that you got mentioned, that's engagement. And that's what you want to see a lot of when you are putting your business on social media. Engagement is crucial for every social media platform to build a positive brand experience. That is your ultimate goal, because if you're having the engagement and it's growing, then it's pretty good to assume that your brand's having a good positive feedback and outlook to your potential followers and customers. So, and contrary to popular belief, engagement is greater than the number of followers. Followers are kind of looky-loos. They could just be people trying to, some followers can be just like, oh, I followed you because you're going to follow me, and then you end up losing them. Engagement is important because engagement is what converts followers into customers. So any questions on this real fast? Sorry, and I totally speed through that. And I apologize again, because I think it's the rock star making me talk 100 miles per hour. So if you have any questions about any of this, and we're going to go into a little bit more detail with the actual tips. So, but this was just to give kind of a starting off point if you weren't familiar of what engagement is and why it's important. All right, so our next one. So our tip number 1, analyze your current engagement. We need to know what your jumping off point is. So you can access via your dashboards typically in your social media accounts. That I feel would be a whole different thing. So I'm not going to go into detail on where you find Facebook, where you do that. But if you're not aware, you can always go to your search browser and put how to find your social media insights. I put that in. There are a ton of articles up to date, and that will go for point to point, telling you where to find all your insights and your engagement information. So it's vital. I mean, it's like even when you're wanting to lose weight, or when you're starting to train for a marathon, you all have a starting point, and you use that as your baseline so that you know how well that you're moving forward, or if you're backtracking a little bit. So it's very important to know where your statistics are now. And there's another reason as well, and we'll touch on that in a second. So tip number 2 is select your strategy. Why are you using social media? What are your social media goals? Are you changing public perception of your brand? Are you trying to rebrand? Have you added new services? Have you changed the goal of your business, and you need to let customers and followers know? There's a lot of different reasons, and unfortunately, sometimes brands do get a bad rap, and it might be doing a little bit of recon work with trying to fix the image. Another one is, are you developing new customer leads? Do you want to make your social media work for you and bring in the leads that you need to continue to build your business and to create your following? Collecting feedback about new products and services. Are you trying new things? It's a great way, a test group, a focus group. Your social media followers can be a great way to have feedback on that as well. And then educating your audience with resources and advice, setting yourself as an expert in your field. People now, I mean, with everything that's been going on, everyone's turning to social media and online for knowledge-based stuff. So why not put yourself as a leader in your industry by educating your followers and your audience on your industry? And then next one is know your audience. This is your most important. To me, tip number 3 is the most important, because if you don't know who you are focusing on and who you want to be your audience and who you want to be your customer, you're just wasting time, because it's shooting in the dark. You don't know where your target's at, right? So the first thing, and this is why you want to know where your analytics are when you start, is because you want to look at your demographics in your analytics. Who's following you? Believe me, it's kind of creepy how detailed they've gotten over the years, but as much as we go like, okay, is that, a little too far, it actually benefits us as business owners. We know, are they 25 to 35-year-old females from Utah County? You can find out that information in your analytics, and who's viewing when, and when are they visiting, because then you know when you're going to be posting. If it's 25 to 35-year-old females in Utah County and they are viewing, you're getting the most posts at 9 p.m., guess when you might be a good idea for you to go live at 9 p.m. at night, because that's when you might have your greatest audience attendance, right? The next one is, what are the struggles of your customer and what solutions are they looking for? That's just basic business principle. We have businesses that provide solutions. Doesn't matter whether it's a product or service based. So think about think of that ideal customer, right? That ideal client that you, and it's okay to do that. I used to think, oh, I can't think of just one person. Well, actually it is great. You think of that one that's just that you wake up every morning and that's the client you get, you are ecstatic, right? But the good thing is when you appeal to that client, there's going to be something that resonates with each other person that views your stuff, because that's just how we work. There's always something that resonates with something. We might not all be the same thing or whatever, but whether that's focusing on, integrity, honesty, entertainment, there's something that's going to resonate no matter what. And that's why that naturally leads into what resonates with your customer on a deeper level. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay to go deeper with social media. We're not going to try to invite ourselves into people's personal lives, but people are giving time to your platform, to your social media, and sometimes they want, what are they going to get back from that? You know, if I'm going to spend 10 minutes going through your feed, what am I getting from that? Am I gaining insight? Am I gaining some know-how? Am I finding a solution to a problem I have? That's a lot of what people are looking for. They want meaning. And I'm going to pause for a minute. Is there any questions or any feedback or anything that anybody wants to add in? I don't have to be the one talking the whole time, so. Okay, if everyone's good for a minute, I'll continue on, but don't hesitate. Oh, Dawn, I saw your hand. Let's do it.
Well, I was going to say, along with the demographics, it's important to look at all of it. Like, if it's female or male, look at the age ranges as well. So there's a lot to look at in your demographics. So don't just look at just the one tab, like go into multiple tabs once you've gone into there and look at all of that information, because it even tells you the hobbies. That's important to know what hobbies your people who come to your site are, what they're looking at and what they do, because that's one way you can rope them in. So
exactly, that gives you perfect ideas for what content to put on there. So I love that, Dawn. Thank you for that. All right. And that is actually a great segue into tip number 4, create valuable content. It's like we had a mind meld there, Dawn. Think conversation, not broadcast. People are sold to every minute. They want to have conversation. They want to feel like they're part of something. And so the first thing you want to do is you need to understand the best format for each platform. For instance, images are huge for Instagram, longer text posts or videos for Facebook. You know, Twitter's the very quick-witted little text out there. And there's so much going on now with social media. Instagram's still blowing up with reels and stuff. You have TikTok now. So take the time to become better acquainted with the platforms. And I know this has been said before, but pick the platforms you're comfortable on. Don't force yourself onto social media platforms that you're not going to utilize as well, or that you're not comfortable using, because first, that's going to show to your audience, and second, you're not going to be consistent with your content in that. And so for me, like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, that's kind of where I'm comfortable at. I've never utilized Twitter before, and though I might be missing out on some maybe potential followers and clients there, I would not engage enough with Twitter for it to be beneficial to my business. So it's okay. You don't have to be on everything. And then also, when you go back to your demographics and knowing your customer, you will know where your customer is at. Facebook, it's pretty much your 30s and up are on your Facebook, even maybe 35 and older. So if that's your key customer area, then you're going to be putting more of your effort into that. Instagram is still that good in between. There's a good mix in between with Instagram. TikTok, same thing. People think it's for the younger, but oh my gosh, there are a ton of older adults and stuff that utilize that for business and enjoy using it. So just have that understanding that where your group at. Snapchat is more for that really younger demographic. And so if your customer base is, teens to early 20s, then Snapchat might be a better place. But if you're not comfortable using it and stuff, then you don't necessarily have to jump on there. There's going to be other places. Like I said, Instagram's that middle ground, between a lot of these different places. So understanding the best format, create polls, great for involvement and learning more about your audience. Ask some crazy questions. What's one? Or like one, for instance, pancakes versus waffles, which is better, and have people vote, because then that gets engagement and stuff. So having them vote will help the algorithm say, hey, people are interested in this account. Let's push them up. It feeds into the algorithm as well. But then it gives you guys kind of a, it gives you post that poll, pancakes or waffles. And once that poll's done, then you say the winner is waffles. And then you have another post. And then if you could link that to a giveaway, say, hey, we're going to give, where's a place? IHOP. We're going to give away a $20 gift card to IHOP so you can go buy your waffles, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like there's ways that you can incorporate things like polls and questionnaires and stuff into giveaways and building more content off of that. Test their knowledge on your industry or fun random facts. I know, for instance, like auto, there's so much you can test facts with, and there's so many just random facts about all sorts of different industries and stuff. So utilize that with that. Spotlight your customers. People like to feel like they're a big deal sometimes. And so, I mean, make sure they're comfortable with being on social media and touch base. But, if you have those long try and true customers and stuff, why not thank them in a public way and just let them feel a little special with that. The next one, quotes and sayings. People especially right now, they are looking for positivity on social media. Unfortunately, we've been bombarded with so many different crazy things over this past year. I know that I love when I see a positive quote, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in regards to your industry. It can just be something uplifting or something funny, that is relatable, and it helps people resonate on that deeper level, like we mentioned earlier. And then another fun one is behind the scenes. And that one, we can all do that. It doesn't matter where you're at. Everybody can do that. Whether, like Casey, I think with you guys, like even showing what's your morning routine when you guys get to a U-Wash, like how do you power up stuff, or that kind of thing. Or like with Dawn could, with the with Clegs, you can, if they're working on vehicles and stuff, or, different things. Nicole, I know you've done different stuff, and so there's always something you can show behind the scenes, and behind the scenes are really great. Like I said, Instagram has Reels, which is their kind of solution for their version of TikTok and stuff, which is short and fast. So you don't have to do this whole long behind the scenes documentary. You can just show something, just one aspect, like making the coffee for the customers and getting that set up. It's just something fun that they can kind of go, oh, that's how they do it, or oh, that's funny, kind of thing. So any questions on this? And these are just a few ideas. There are so many options and so many ideas out there, but this is just to kind of help actually get that engagement part of it. So anybody, Dawn, did you have anything you want to add, or Nicole or anybody? Okay. Awesome.
There we go. Sorry, I had to find the mute. So one thing, if you're just like, oh man, what can I post today? Sometimes you don't like utilize stories, because sometimes on Instagram, you're like, I want to do something just kind of funny and just a little random, but you don't want it on your feed for forever. So just do like a funny story, and I like to do that for like I was saying, like today's bubble wrap day, which is kind of random, but there's a holiday for everything. Like every day there's some kind of random holiday. So if you can't think of anything, you can look up the holidays and kind of, if it goes with your line of work, like bubble wrap kind of goes with our line of work, because we pack people's items when there's a fire and take them to our place, and you know what I mean? So like bubble wrap kind of works for us. But like, look at the national holidays and see if something works for you. Oh yeah, tomorrow is Have Fun at Work Day. So you could do something like a crazy video, or just something totally funny that you guys do at work. So yeah.
Perfect.
Casey put that in the notes, and I just read it as it came up. So yes.
No,
there's always
that's
fun
perfect.
days you can highlight.
No, I love that. That's perfect. There is no shortage of where you can find content. And that actually is going to jump us into tip number 3, be reactive and proactive. Okay. So social media isn't passive. You can't just create an account and let it sit there and think it's going to grow. So this is the difference between reactive and proactive. To be reactive with your social media, you're answering direct messages, incoming mentions, and comments. People like to know that you're watching and that you appreciate them sharing your information or taking the time to comment. I mean, that's a value. People don't have to take 2 minutes to write a response, or they don't have to share with their friends and family your information. So take that's a value. So make sure you thank your follower for that. Interact with other social media accounts. So other social accounts have other followers. So if you're responding to comments and liking and stuff, you might find people going, oh, who is this person? They are so witty in the comments, or and stuff. But it's also, it's a good way to eventually create collaborations and stuff, which we'll get into the proactive and stuff. So make sure you guys are doing that, and keep responses speedy. So if somebody direct messages you, try to, by the end of the day, have a response to them. Don't wait 3 or 4 days or a week or 2 to finally go, oh, hey, sorry, didn't see this, because that devaluizes, and I don't know if that's even a word, but it devalues, that's the word. I was trying to make it into an advert. It devalues the time that they took to interact with your account, and that's potentially losing a future customer. And if you don't respond sometimes too, you don't want to have an angry person dealing with social media. And unfortunately, some people are a little more delicate when it comes to things. So making sure that you are reactive that way. And that includes too, like if you do get somebody who speaks out negatively against your business and stuff, don't engage with them in a way to say, hey, I would love to talk to you more about this, and let me DM you so we can get this resolved. Make sure you show a response, because then it still shows that you're putting value in that customer or that follower, even though that they had a negative experience. You're reacting in a positive light for that. So to be proactive, spark conversation with people who may oh, sorry, that I told the typo though, that just threw me off. With people who may be talking about you, but haven't necessarily sent messages about, but show interaction. So are they liking your post? Are they commenting every once in a while? Are they sharing it? Engage with them. Just send a quick little message saying, hey, thank you so much for that share. Thank you so much for that like, or even sometimes a heart or a thumbs up will show them, hey, they're watching. They saw me. They noticed me. Collaborate with complementary businesses. Doesn't mean they have to be in your same industry, but for instance, I know we had a chiropractor who joined forces with a restaurant, and they worked together to promote each other's services and stuff. Or you can have contests together and promote each other's services as the prizes on opposite pages, kind of thing. So there's a lot that you can collaborate with that. Or just, there's some people too that will let like fans or people take over their account for the day to see what their perspective is, or an employee take over for the day and show their perspective of the business and stuff. So there's a lot of ways to collaborate with that. Biggest thing, plan and schedule. I am learning this. I have to do it myself. I am so good at telling people, but when it comes to my own personal stuff, I struggle with that. And I'm learning that I have got to have a plan, and I got to get on a schedule. And the good thing is then you can look at things like, okay, so I'm going to pick 5 things I focus on each week, and I'm going to rotate through those. So every 5th message, I'm going to be showing something personal. Or it's going to be behind the scenes, or it's going to be, okay, now I'm going to promote something, or this is going to be a customer highlight on this one. If you pick if you plan to just post 5 times a day and you pick up 5 topics, you just rotate through those topics, and then sit down and take it. if you want the return on investment that you put in, take the time to sit down and plan it out. You can take an hour. And now with Facebook business, how they've set it up, you can actually schedule not only to Facebook, but to Instagram through your Facebook business page or business, what do they call it? It's business manager, I think is what it is. And now, so where before everyone's like, I can't schedule a post to Instagram. Yeah, now you can, utilizing that. And so that leads me into the next one is get the training or invest in someone who can represent your business on social media. Unfortunately, we're past the days where thinking, oh, we can just do it ourselves, or I will get to it and stuff. You have to invest in it, and you will get a better return on investment if you actually take it seriously. You put into it, as you'll get as much out of it as you put into it. So like I said, if you can find somebody, who can help, you can get someone trained in office, or make sure if you sit down with your marketing and say, okay, I've noticed some inconsistency. I'd like to see this going on. And, what sources do you need to help? Or, okay, I got to hire someone. I'm to that point now. I'm so busy with my other day-to-day stuff. I have got to invest in somebody. And there's somebody for all price ranges and stuff, but I would make sure that they can demonstrate that they have a knowledge of creating accounts and being able to access answering messages and stuff, and that you train them on that. Don't just leave it up to them to decide, hey, oh, so-and-so message. Oh, well, that was nice. Make sure you set up a precedence that, hey, if you get a direct message, here is how I want you to respond. And this is who you're going to contact if it's a further on thing, set up a process, with that. So take ownership of your social media accounts. So those are my 5 tips. And I know that they're just barely touching on the iceberg, but that's kind of our goal with marketing is we'll take a broad look at stuff, and we will try to bring in more of more closed in looks on things. But yeah, with just, we have so much in a time frame to do that, but hopefully this gives you guys a jumping off point. And then if anybody wants a link to this presentation so you can copy the notes or do whatever, just I can put it in chat, and I'll leave this on my drive for a little while so that you guys can download or have access to that. So other than that, is there any questions, any input, any advice that anybody else has with getting more engagement on your social media?
Heather, we're also going to put this on our YouTube, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, awesome. So it's just on the Spanish Fork Chamber YouTube page, and I'll post it on Facebook too, just to kind of remind you that it's here. And then you can go look at it on YouTube.
Yep, but if you're watching on YouTube and you want this information, you can even just email me at info@arcadecreativestudio.com, and I'll send you the link for that as well. Okay, well, thanks you guys. This was fun. I hope you guys were able to pull something from it, and it's definitely overwhelming. So just start with one step, just start with a step and then just build upon each step. And, and just remember to look at your followers and stuff as, they are your ROI. Every time you get that follow, every time you get that engagement, that is ROI. And that's one more step closer to turning them into a customer. So, all right, well, that's it. Heather, unless we have anything else to say, I think we're good to end it.